There's no feeling like being in a concert when all of you are just there headbanging to the riff and you like feel everyone's souls and their energy just like pulsing and expanding in that moment, and it really feels kind of close to God.
This is S. Patrick Brooks of the Heavy Underground Fire Report, and I have Crystal Spiders here today. I am absolutely thrilled. I have Brenna and Aaron and Reid joining me. Man, hey, you guys, thanks a lot for coming on the show. I appreciate you taking.
Thanks for having us.
So, tell me, you guys, you have a lot of stuff going on, but in particular, you have a new album that's coming out. You have a new single from it. I freaking love the single. Do you guys say, is it Torche or Torche, or am I like overthinking it?
It's Torch, but I like Torche. That's good.
Yeah, Torche.
Torche, right on. Well, Torche is appropriately named. It's freaking red hot. It's a super heavy rockin' song. Tell me, guys, how you feeling about the new album coming out? What are your general impressions about the reception to the single in particular?
Yeah, very excited.
We're pretty
Definitely like the feedback so far.
Yeah, it's always just so encouraging to hear people's reactions, and obviously it's nice to hear compliments on things you worked really hard about. I haven't heard a lot of visceral hate, so feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that song was the three of us, our first collective work together. So the fact that that's the first single and people are so stoked about it's really, really cool.
It's fantastic. You guys were gracious enough to send me a copy of the album in advance as well. I will tell you, people out there listening, it's freaking awesome. I mean, I'm impressed with the songwriting, and you're all excellent instrumentalists. How did you guys get together and create this? This is your first album in a while, and this is your first album with this lineup.
Yeah, so I've been in Crystal Spiders since 2018 about, and obviously a lot has happened in the world and also in my personal life since then. We had a global pandemic, and I had a kid, so there was just like a lot going on. And I think a lot of people that I know in the scene, musicians, kind of had a similar roller coaster of life going on. So I'm still really good friends with all of the musicians that I've made the past two albums with, but I would say that Reid really came through. I didn't think I was going to be able to play Maryland Doomfest. We had it booked before the pandemic, and then, had deferred it. At that point, I think my kid was like 3 or 4 months. And then the lineup that I had at the time told me they didn't think they were going to be able to do it. So I actually told JB from Maryland Doomfest, I was like, I don't know, man. I've tried. I don't think I can make it happen.
He didn't take no for an answer.
No, he did not take no for an answer. He was like, damn it, Brenna, I know you can do it. You can pull this lineup together. And I was like, fine. And then the next person I asked actually helped connect me with Reid, and then Sean Staley, who's been in a lot of amazing bands, came on board and helped us cover drums for the event. And then Aaron had been my drummer in the Hell No, which kind of was another pandemic fatality of like, we actually had everything ready and we're going to record another album. And then just like one thing led to another, and everybody's schedules just kind of like pulled apart, and we never really got it put back together again. But so Aaron didn't have a lot going on musically, and so I convinced him to join the party. And I have to say, this is like the happiest I've ever been in a lineup. Everybody just works so hard, is so committed, and the songwriting, as I think you can tell from this album, has just been really easy and a lot of fun. Like, we all bring a lot to the table and have been able to kind of work well together in a collaborative way of, this person has this really cool part and this person has this really cool part, and we just kind of like stitch it all together, and it's working. I'm happy.
Yeah, I think about 2 of the songs on this record we stitched together while recording it. So
Yeah, we had it was a
That's cool. Did you
Frankenstein
guys work in the
experience at the
same
last
room
minute.
a lot together then, or did you collaborate electronically?
Well, shortly before, I'm gonna say shortly after Doomfest, I had some just life things that changed pretty quickly. So I was actually living at the coast about, what would you say, the first 6 months I was in this band. So I was driving up at least, if not twice a month, probably closer to 3 or 4 times a month every weekend.
The
Just
commitment impressed me.
yeah. So and I just ended up moving back up to Raleigh, and it became a lot easier. But yeah, for the most part, I'd say, aside from maybe me sending a really crappily recorded phone 10-second clip, like I got this riff, most of it was done, I'd say, in house, all three of
Well,
us.
I have to give Aaron a lot of props because we've had the same practice space for a really long time. Well, I have, and then Aaron moved in with me for the Hell No, and now Reid's in there. But when we had less bandmates, we were able to set up like a really cool recording station in there. So Aaron put a lot of work into that to be able to when we would just get in there and have an idea, because personally I can be a very like off the cuff songwriter. I could just start playing and then like a lot kind of comes out in a stream. And so because Aaron put a lot of work into the recording setup, all the microphones, we kind of it was a group effort on getting a recording computer in there, but we made it work. And then we were able to make demos sporadically and kind of build on those, and that really helped a lot to prep for when we actually went in the studio.
And with the studio's in the same place our rehearsal space is too, so that was cool. It's under the
That's
same roof.
I'll never not record with Mike Dean.
Yeah.
But also it helps that he is like 20 feet away.
That's fantastic. Do you guys? Is it an advantage for you to be a three-piece band? Do you think there's an advantage to have fewer members in
So
your
many
band?
less people farting in the van. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's like
That's
number
fair.
one, but Brenna,
Number one.
number two.
And so many less number twos to worry about, really.
Well, something like we've talked about a lot is like when you have three people, the option of bringing a fourth to be a merch person or to drive is like, it's a lot easier. I mean, it's rock and roll, so getting paid is kind of a pipe dream, but it's easier to get paid as a three piece. easier to fund.
Cool. And you guys, so I'm assuming you're like most bands on the scene, and you guys have day jobs, and this is what you do. This is your passion. Do you have dreams of being able to support yourselves doing this? Or are you guys happy doing what you're doing, or do you not really think about that much and you just live your lives?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, same.
But anymore, I'm just used to, doing this because I love doing it. So
Yeah, I mean, if the options ever arose to where we could do this more and it, not risk being in debt or homeless after a long run, it'd be. But that's just the nature of it. I mean, the three of us, we love music, and that's the reason we do it. I mean, so
It's obvious that you do from the product that you put out. I don't even like to call it a product. It's art that you are creating, and fans like me just absolutely are grateful that you take the time out of your lives to make that kind of art. So we hope you're more. I mean, I'd love it if you guys just make music all the time, because I'd help. And you guys, your new album is called Metanoia. It's
Metanoia.
That's what it's
Like
called. Yeah,
we
I'm
need to put
I'm working on
Metanoia.
I'm working on it. I should have put it down phonetically. So I didn't know what the word meant, so I looked it up, and it means
I
a
love a Google.
change in one's life or a spiritual conversion of some sort. And so tell me why you chose that theme for your or is it a theme, or is it just a word that you thought sounded cool?
It is a theme. So I think there's been a lot of changes in my life personally over the last 6 years, really since the last album. What with having a kid, gonna be my only one, but it's a pretty cool one.
big change too.
A pretty big change. I went to working fully remotely, which is cool, but has also been really alienating, and I feel like my social life has done kind of a 180, like between those two things. Uh, Also, a lot of great clubs either closed down or completely like refactored, or like the scene in general is very different than it was pre-pandemic, I would say. So, I can't speak for everybody, but my life has changed a lot since the last album, and so has my outlook on a lot of things. Another kind of aspect to the album and to my approach to songwriting over the last few years, I've been thinking a lot about spirituality, about like our place as humans in the world and beyond, interdimensionally. And I think that there seems to be a collective social shift to thinking about how we individually are fitting into society and the hierarchy of the world, as well as we as a species, how we're interacting with our planet and a little bit what maybe beyond. So that's what it means to me.
I think I feel that too. I think a lot of us feel that. I think, let me add, this is not a planned question at all, but do you think like there's been a rise in the psychedelic side of the heavy underground music? Do you think there's a correlation between maybe psychedelic insights and what you're talking about, Brenna, as far as become like people looking for something a little deeper, maybe in their music and their lives?
I think so. I think there's a shift that is happening in kind of people's perceptions that is expanding. I think a lot of people, when they think of psychedelia or heavy psych, like they immediately think of acid and like mind expanding drugs and being on a trip. But I don't know. When I think of it, I also just think of expanding your perception beyond yourself philosophically. So we have a song on the record called Maslow, about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and how as you progress toward hopefully enlightenment, your view both of yourself and what's directly around you that you can see or not see in the world sort of begins to change.
Do you feel that you've reached a point of some of that self oh, I can't say accusation that Maslow must have?
Self-actualization.
That's it, man. I am. Yeah,
He's an English major,
words
so
are
we're
more
good.
than two syllables, and I am dying.
I feel like I've kind of checked a lot of the obvious boxes on the pyramid. Like, fortunately, I have financial stability. I have a home. I have a family. I have a sense of community, like with my band and with my scene. So fortunately, I've checked kind of a lot of the boxes to where I feel it's almost a privilege to be able to have the mental bandwidth to think about um, self-actualization. So I'm not there, but I'm like a very horribly flawed person if you've listened to any of my songs. But I'm trying to
Oh,
be a little bigger, a little wiser.
it's understandable. So the lyrics of the song "Torche" are, yeah, they're pretty. I mean, it seems like a pretty angry song. Can you tell me where those lyrics came from, or if it was a situation or just general angst?
Oh yeah, I'm like full of hatred. So much hatred.
Well, there's rough
Most
times, I mean, I
most
could
of
see
it is
that. I could.
directed inward, which is like the first line is enemy my silhouette, and it's just like I feel like uh I'm always chasing myself, and I am my own worst enemy. Like no one will ever, I don't know. I never feel like I'm competing with anybody else, which sounds conceited, but it's really just because I'm competing with myself so badly that I'm like constantly waging this internal war. And so that's what a lot of the song is about, sort of battling yourself, and also if you can kind of get all of the facets of yourself working in the same direction, like that's how you can truly overcome.
Do you write all the lyrics? Guys, Reid and Aaron, when you play the songs, how do you have an emotional attachment to the songs through the lyrics and through the music? Do you feel like you're all on kind of the same page with those sentiments?
Yeah, definitely with the music side, because I mean, a lot of the parts of them are Aaron and me, come up with a lot of the music. I mean, Torch in particular was most of those licks I came up with when a relationship of mine just went to complete hell when I was living in Wilmington. Yeah, anger and angst, but it kind of about I say halfway through, particularly when we were recording, there was a few songs where I had to have Brenna like, "Hey, send me the lyrics," because especially working on a guitar solo, and you can hear in a couple of the tunes where it's like I'm trying to not mimic what the vocal line is, but it's like it kind of you hear some familiarity between the two, and that's just I've played in bands where that require guitar players to just shred nonstop, and I was actually telling Brenna recently. I was like, it's kind of cool to have a chance to write some more sing-songy solos, like a song within a song kind of deal. It's my 20 seconds of the song to.
Reid, I appreciate that part of the scene. Bands have like the freedom to explore other emotions and just anger and manic joy. um, like I like that you said that you get to play your guitar a different way. Aaron, do you have the same kind of thing coming through on the drums? Do you feel that you can incorporate more influences than just maybe just really crazy hardcore metal kind of stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got a lot of different kind of music I like to listen to. I try to add as much in where I can, but I just like to try to make these two sound as awesome as possible and accent them. The lyrics are great. She's a great singer, and this dude shreds over here on guitar. So they honestly make my job pretty easy. It's like just getting to play and listen to them, playing a band with them.
Well, that's the
I get my rocks off on that, So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's the beauty of the three-piece lineup is me being a guitar player. It's nice when you have a bass player and a drummer that can do what a bass player and a drummer are supposed to do, but also can shine because it makes my job easy. Where it's like, hey, play these chords, and then
There's no place to hide in a three-piece band, that's for sure.
no, we try sometimes. But
No, I know that's not true. I was having a conversation with Scott Spires earlier this week. Brenna and Scott described you as one of his top three favorite bass players. Like, just no qualification, just top
I
three
am
favorite bass players.
blushing.
So, and we know,
Yeah.
like, Scott works, I mean, he writes for a bass magazine and Scott knows what he's talking about. So, when I was listening to your songs, I did pay particular attention to the bass work, which is absolutely fantastic. How do you come
Crazy.
from? Maybe like were you jazz trained, or just are you
No,
self-taught? Or
I've taken like one bass lesson in my entire life, and usually I'm terrible. So I appreciate. I will always give Mike DeLoach, who was the guitar player on the first Crystal Spiders record. I will always give him so many props because I kind of just decided on a whim that I was going to pick up bass, and he was so patient with me. Like he taught me. Well, rather, I don't say I want to say he taught me. Rather, he like sat there while I picked through some stuff and was patient with me. Uh, as I fucked up like a million things. But also he owns Acid Guitar Electronics. Is that the full name of it, Reid? Is that right?
yeah, like acid
Yeah.
metal works or something.
Yeah.
Something to do
We'll
with
look it up
acid.
later.
Acid,
Yeah, it definitely has acid as the first word. But so he makes pedals and he also does amp repair, so he knows a ton about gear. And he kind of lit my gear acquisition syndrome, I would say. But through that experience, I learned a lot pretty quickly. I will pride myself on that. I am an extremely quick learner. I can pick up things up pretty fast. So once I've kind of like put my mind to something, I'll get where I need to go. But as far as like my technique and how I play, it's largely been adaptive on the job learning, I guess you would say.
no, you're amazing. That's amazing. What about Reid, Aaron? What about you guys? What's your musical backgrounds like? Are you guys school band guys, or just like, fuck, I like Metallica, so I learned how to play these songs on my guitar kind of people?
well, my dad is a bluegrass banjo player, so I was kind of born around music, and I picked up a guitar for the first time when I was 9. I'm 30, almost 34 now, so wasn't very good at it, but about 16 I got real serious, and yeah, that's my background. Just got into AC/DC and Van Halen when I was young and froze up here. Sean, you good?
He's just lost in space. He's deep in thought. He's
But
having an emotional experience.
like, I had no idea your dad was a banjo player.
Oh my god.
But yeah, then
And he left us. We're just in here. Okay, we're taking over the show now. All I
we
can
do
think
control were crystal spiders.
but yeah, I hope that he's somewhere watching us from
Hope he's
above
coming
or
back.
aside or perpendicular. He'd probably be back eventually. He'd probably freak it out. We can answer some questions in the chat while we wait for them. Being any chance of some ABBA and any Diddy tunes? I said totally, man. But
I think I know the person who asked that.
Oh, I see the chat. All right.
yeah, what we got in there? What we got going on in the old chat? Looking forward to seeing a live set. Thank you, Mickey. We're looking forward to playing it. Where are you gonna come see us? I hope you guys saw we got a tour coming up. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to watching you guys July 22nd. Thank you. We are looking forward to playing for you
That's in
July
Detroit,
22nd.
I think, right? Yeah.
Detroit. I've never been to Detroit, so I'm extremely excited. And if anybody has any suggestions on things we should eat, that is the most important thing I need to know.
That's 90% of being in a band.
Manchester, England. We want to go over there. We'd love to tour England.
Oh God, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to give you hugs on July 22nd too, Patrick. Thank you for playing with us. We're so excited to play with Queen. It's gonna be awesome. ABBA, as in dancing queen. You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17.
Why are I interjecting?
I thought he was back.
Yeah, I just scared him away with my ABBA.
It's like, yeesh.
No, I get it from Jack Kane from the Poorhouse. He's always putting on Dancing Queen at the end of the night to kick everybody out, but really it just makes me dance. So
It does the opposite.
I know it does completely the opposite.
I'm a huge ABBA fan. I'd love to.
I'm not blonde enough to ABBA. I have to get a wig.
Sorry, Gus. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Sorry, we just took over your show for a minute.
Big joint. Sorry.
Wanna...
No, I apologize for my technical difficulties there. That was thank.
It's okay.
You guys nailed it while I was gone. I could see you guys were answering questions and typing in answers. And I was like, this guy's got.
We're musicians.
Yeah,
we have technical difficulties on stage. Just learn how to adapt.
All the time.
You guys
my God.
You're my new favorite band now. Thank you. I'm forever indebted to you guys. That was awesome. Thank you. Guys know you guys are welcome when you're in Denver. Absolutely.
I love Denver. It is one of my favorite places. I always tell people if I did not live in Raleigh, North Carolina, I would want to move to Denver. And I love your Copernoid shirt. I love that band. I hope that I get to play with them sometime.
I hope you guys do.
Speaking of shirts.
So, I'm sorry. Oh, what do you got, Aaron?
Yeah, we all had to.
Oh, I want your shirt too. I'll be buying your shirt. Don't worry. I'll be buying your shirt.
They'll be up on Bandcamp.
Hell yeah.
Very soon.
Yes,
As soon as I get my
brand new tank tops for our record release and for our tour, so you can look hot when it's.
That's right.
Oh my God.
As soon as I can get my daughter to model it once again, we'll put them on Bandcamp.
Yeah, put it up closer to the camera. Let them see that.
Yeah. I want to see. Yeah,
design.
the pictures. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, look at this creepy eyeballs.
All right, we're
staring
gonna
into your
zoom it
soul,
up
man.
here.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Right on.
I'm excited. I haven't seen them yet. He just got them in the mail yesterday. So
That's your first look.
I did text us to tell him about
All
it.
fresh and folded, ready to go.
Well, right on. Well, hey man, I'm really sorry about blowing the flow there, but you guys, I appreciate you picking up my slack there while I had a mini vacation there.
Dude, that's what we do.
You guys, the first time I really became familiar with you, I saw you guys at Ripple Fest in Texas. And I remember, Brenna, I saw you walking around because everybody saw you walk around because your hair, like, it's the reddest hair I'd ever seen. It's like, so you, like, definitely everybody knew where you were at Ripple Fest.
That wasn't her hair. She was on fire. It was so hot down.
So hot. Sorry, I feel like my hair is a little less bright than usual. I like tone it down for the winter, but don't worry, you guys see me on tour, I'm gonna be lit up like a firecracker.
Well, yeah, well, it's rock star hair for sure. So, but tell me, you guys, what was your, like, Ripple Fest for me this year was like, it felt like a really special, big deal. Do you guys,
Oh my god,
like,
yeah.
tell me about your
blast.
experience at Ripple Fest, and like if you have some cool stories or just your general impressions. I'll shut up.
I just have to go first because I have to tell you that Mars Red Sky is one of my favorite fucking bands of all time. I love them. And like when I saw that we were gonna get to be playing with them at Ripple Fest, like I was so fucking excited. I literally like cried their
Opening
entire
lip,
set.
dude.
I fucking stood there with tears streaming down my face, like ugly crying. The
That's
photographer came up and was like, shit, like took a picture of me as I'm like, oh god. Like, hopefully I haven't seen that picture surface anywhere because hopefully she looked at it and was like, girl, no.
This won't be good for the band's career.
No, it was not cute. But I did not care. I was like so insanely into it that
Well, she also, and this is a little public service announcement. If you ever go to get liquid IVs, make sure they don't have caffeine, because she was housing about 8 of those, and they had.
well, because someone drank all my liquid IVs because he didn't come prepared, and so
Aaron.
they tried to.
It wasn't me.
It
I was dehydrated the
it
whole
was
time.
both of you.
That
So they bought
that
these,
house
like,
beer they
knockoff
had there was like
liquid IVs from the Dollar General,
intense.
and like I was cracked out. Like it was like I was on speed or something. It was crazy because I didn't realize it until I'd already had like 8 of them. I was just dumping them into fucking bottled waters and chugging them because I thought I was hydrating, but I was not. I was
Like, it's
actually
so
like,
hot, I need to have 3 more of these.
oh my god! It would have been like if I drank like 8 Red Bulls or something, or maybe worse. I don't know.
I think you
It's
did
the
have a couple Red
equivalent.
Bulls too.
Well, because then it was like 1 a.m. Like the show was over, and I was so wired, and I couldn't figure out why. Until we got back to the hotel, and then I looked at the box. I was
Oh
like,
my god!
that was horrible.
It was 100 milligrams of caffeine per packet.
Holy shit! You had like 27 cups of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So, apologies to anyone I met at the Ripple Fest, but I was just like,
You just see you in your hotel room,
no, it really
staring
wasn't
out
that
at
bad. I
Austin.
dragged Aaron like across town to go to a bar.
But for me, I think Howling Giant was that was really cool, and Shadows of Jupiter. Those guys are really cool. They're really, really cool guys, and just everyone I met was really cool. I mean, obviously, Legions of Doom.
So my the last night, well, I was there Saturday night. It was getting late, and we were kind of packing up the merch a little bit. And Last Band came on, and I was like, I'm gonna go over there and check them out real quick. And it was Fatso Jensen, and they absolutely blew my mind. That was an incredible set. I couldn't walk away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have seen Fatso Jensen. I saw him last year in Las Vegas, and then obviously I saw him in Vegas. But yeah, but they're like so different. Like Mario is like such a charismatic figure on stage, and his kids are like just a monster guitar player. Yeah, that was good stuff for sure. Was there anybody you guys saw at Ripple Fest besides that act that you just were like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, or you didn't know who they were and they just blew your mind?
That was the first time I saw High Desert Queen. Like, so
Yeah.
I knew who they were, but that was the first time I saw them live, and I was like, oh,
Holy shit!
it was amazing. Like the energy was just so cool. Yeah, that one was definitely a highlight for me. Of course, there were a couple bands that I wish I would have gotten to like see a little closer, but either because they were like right before or right after our set, we got to do all the merch things. And Shadow of Jupiter was really awesome and super nice guys. So hope we get to see them when we're up in Chicago on our tour coming up soon.
I'm sure they will go out of their way. I know Colin. I have a list. Hey, you guys, I have a list of people. Oh, you guys already probably saw it, but I know Colin was watching the broadcast earlier and has nothing but good things to say about you guys. And just Thinks you guys are awesome. You guys, I'm just going to wrap up with a few things here. You guys, you have some live shows coming up. You have an album release show coming up. Could you tell us about what you got coming up?
We've got the album release show. When is that?
30th of May.
May 30th.
That's in Raleigh at the Poorhouse. And we're playing in Asheville the next day, right?
We are. We're playing in Asheville the next day. I'm putting into the chat our Linktree link, but anybody goes to our Instagram, it's in our bio. That'll have ticket links being updated as we put them in there on bands in town, in case anybody wants to check that out. But we've got the album release show on the 30th and Asheville the next night, and then we have Maryland Doom Fest, which is going to be awesome. I have had the pleasure of playing it three times now. Maybe this will be my fourth, and it's so much fun. Every time I go, it's just like heavy metal family from all over.
Is it? Would you compare that kind
I'm
of
stoked
family
about that.
feel to like what Ripple Fest felt like? Is it that kind of situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's part of what makes this scene so special, like both here in the States and internationally, is just like everyone is bonded by this common love and reverence for this type of music. It's heavy music, but it's still like accessible. It's still catchy. Like the tone is amazing. The people are so friendly, and it's just like very much a family and community vibe, I would say. It's not like some of the bigger festivals that I would just say are kind of impersonal. Because I would almost call them like boutique festivals, because they're, maybe under 1,500 or 2,000 people, and everyone you can actually get a chance to talk to, and the bands are all very accessible, and most of us are just like huge freaking fans of everybody else.
So
like,
that's a huge thing, I went to Las Vegas the year before last it was my first stoner rock festival, and the accessibility of the bands immediately struck me as such a cool thing, and all the other fans were cool, and everybody is like you said, is very open and friendly community. Why do you what do you think it is about that? Is it because it's small, or do you think a certain type of person gravitates towards the scene?
I mean, if I had to take a guess, I would say that a lot of us are outcasts in many other ways and gravitated and found our way to heavy music, either like directly into metal or through something like punk, like myself. And I can say for Aaron as well. So it's like you're looking for a sense of belonging and community because you don't feel it in the mainstream, and you don't feel like you're quite fitting in like everybody else, like the way you're supposed to, whether that's because of the way you look or because of the way you act or just because of the way you feel. Like you don't quite feel what everybody else feels. So I think a lot of creative people are really drawn to it, and feeling those creative energies of other people is also like inspiring to me and stokes me to create more. But also, I just freaking love music. It touches a part of me that I think resonates in everybody else. Like there's no feeling like being in a concert when all of you are just there headbanging to the riff, and you like feel everyone's souls and their energy just like pulsing and expanding in that moment, and it really feels kind of close to God.
Well, I know I agree. I mean, that was so well said. Wow, that's like one of the coolest things anybody's ever said on my show. I appreciate that insight. I think you really summed it up. Like, it's not easy to sum it up. Hey guys.
I think she's reading off a teleprompter.
I wish I had one. I would put my foot in my mouth a lot less.
I will tell you what, as someone who's tried to use a teleprompter before, you guys are doing fantastic. Teleprompters like just makes it so much harder, I think. So you guys are fan. I really appreciate your candor and you guys coming on and being super open about, your processes and how you feel and your excitement about the scene and your own new album. Do you guys have anything I'm just going to turn it over to you guys for a couple minutes, give a shout out to somebody or talk about something you want to talk about, or, if you just like want to hold up your dog or your cat, I guess you could do that. whatever you guys want to do, but you got a couple minutes.
Well, just to piggyback off what you said about just us being open, and I mean, to me, I've always looked at this like anybody and everyone should be able to do this. I mean, I hear people say sometimes like, I can never play like that. It's like, yeah, you can. I mean, if I can, anybody can. It's just something that when I was a kid, it's like I was, school didn't come easy to me, but I told, my parents years ago, no, I passed school, but it was just like the guitar was always never gave me an F, no matter how much I sucked when I started. I still don't have an A at it, but I'm working.
Oh, you have an A
Yeah,
at
the
it,
bass
buddy.
gives me an
You
F all
definitely
the
have an A
time.
at it.
D, G, C, F. That's like a fourth string.
I even know you're talking about strings.
But it's just, I mean, it's, especially during COVID, there were times where it's like, man, should I keep doing this? Should I just, play at home? But it's like, what else am I going to do? This is all I've ever done. So why stop now? And I love
I'm
it. I
glad you
mean,
didn't.
it's,
I mean, I know there's a bunch of us out there that are really grateful for what you guys do. Aaron, do you have something you want to throw out there, buddy?
Just more on what Reid was saying, but right before I got the crystal spiders, I was starting to feel like, I'm too old for this shit. That's exactly how it felt. I was like, how many more times I want to try this? And Brenna did a good job recruiting me and getting me off my ass. And I appreciate that because I tell you, man, it's hard to come by like a band with people like this in it. I think we have a good unit. Not a lot of
with three
not a
people.
lot of
Can you
drama.
imagine
Yeah,
if one of
drama.
us sucked?
But yeah, glad it happened. The pandemic was horrible. But that's about all I got. Yeah, I just love jamming with these guys, and I'm glad we get to play these shows. I can't wait to meet everybody commenting over here. It's gonna be awesome.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks, bud. Brenna, do you want to wrap it up, or Reid? Do you want to like?
Oh, one more thing before Brenna goes. Just some people have asked. I'm healing up from my surgery pretty good. That's the scar.
Holy
I
crap,
just had
dude!
surgery 3 weeks ago.
You're good. You're playing. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm still sore, but I'm playing and meeting these two Wednesday for the first rehearsal since I've had surgery. So I'm looking forward to
If
that.
you were in Denver, I'd have given you something to help that out, but you're not. So, Brenna,
And Aaron just got a new drum kit, so
Oh,
we're
yeah.
excited. This
You
will be the
wanna-
first time we get to play with. I filmed a lot of the unveiling of the drum kit, which is fucking hilarious if I do say so myself. But I've not had time to turn it into the reel that it deserves to be. But if there's anything to look forward to, it will be that.
yeah.
So wait, you gotta wait for my directorial debut of Aaron's relationship with his new
That's
kit.
awesome. Well, I'm looking forward
Um,
to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you guys will have some amazing commentary for it. Hey, I can't tell you how much I really appreciate you guys putting up with the technical problems. And just
No problem.
your fans, the fans of your band really appreciate you guys being here. I have had a lot of just really positive feedback, just knowing that you guys were going to be on, and it's been an honor for me to have you guys. So thank you so much. I hope I get to see you guys live again sometime. We'll catch you at a festival
I
or
would love
come
to
through
make it
Denver.
out to
Definitely come
Denver.
through Denver.
So
We'd
yes,
love to
that
have
would be so much fun.
I'd love to.
Well, I, for one, would love to play some more festivals, if not later this year, then next year. So if anybody out there is booking, you know where to find us on the internet, but like we'll be
We
flooding.
want to come back to Europe too.
We totally do. We had so much fun at Ripplefest Berlin, Ripplefest Cologne, and definitely want to make our way back over
We
there.
love Kabbalah.
You love Kabbalah so much. All of our Ripple label mates. That is somebody I'd like to shout out right now. It's Todd Severin from Ripple for believing in us. This is our third album on Ripple, and I know like we're not one of the bigger bands. We're not one of the ones that's hitting it on the road, 8 months out of the year touring. We do all have day jobs, and unfortunately that's like the hardest part, is that it limits how much you really can get out there when you're trying to balance everything else. So I'm thankful that we do all make sacrifices to be able to do this. To go back to your earlier question, I think if things were a little bit different in the world and also in the state of music, It would be nice if we could all do this as our full-time jobs, but I also think for me personally, I'm all about balance, which means I feel that it's a privilege to be able to be creative, to be able to have a label like Ripple, a person like Todd, and people like you and all the fans who are sitting here listening. Like, thank you for listening. Thanks for buying the album. Because for me, my main goal for making music is to make things that speak to people and that people want to listen to. And also it's helpful when people buy and support, because this is what helps it all pay for itself, because otherwise we'd just be like, I would be sinking a lot of personal money into just being able to do the thing that I love. So just having people that help keep it afloat is, to me, a huge honor. It's a huge honor just to have people listen and give a shit about anything that I have to say.
It means a lot to people, like, believe in us, and that's,
yeah.
I'm going to speak for Aaron and myself. I appreciate everyone who's a fan of the band who hasn't, anytime there's a lineup change, some diehards are like, oh, what? So I appreciate everyone accepting Aaron and I with open arms, and no one's told us to go to hell yet. So we appreciate
when the
all
album
that.
drops, you will not be hearing that. You will not be.
Well, you are one of the very first people to have heard it,
But,
so your opinion is very important.
it's amazing. It's going to be on my year-end list for sure. I can't wait to have it on vinyl. You guys,
I mean, it's only
I'm
April. You don't know what's gonna happen
I'm
between
an
now
old
and
guy.
then.
I'm like, I just want to. I'm so proud of you kids. But like, seriously, I love what you guys are doing, man. Right on, you guys. Well, hey,
Thank you. Can't wait till the next time we get to give you a high five and a cheers and headbang with you at the next festival.
I can't wait either. Hey, let's do this again though, because I'm looking at my notes and I have like about an hour's worth of questions I still could ask you. But you know what? I'm going to let you guys have your evening back. I'm grateful for you guys taking the time to do this.
Please have us on again. This is
yeah,
awesome.
I'd love to do that. Thank you guys. I appreciate
Thank you.
Well, right on. Well, hey, this was S. Patrick Brooks with the Heavy Underground Farm Report, and I was absolutely honored to have Crystal Spiders join me. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, but if you could hang on 1 second, that'd be fantastic.